You're watching Camnet News. My name is Sharon Kalimbola. The headlines. Northern Province Bill 10 support cheers President Lungu. RPP says Zambians have lost confidence in the electoral body. Zambian youths lament lack of jobs. In international news, 50,000 people die of COVID-19 in Brazil. And in sports news, Mfolira Wanderers and Advantage Insurance seal kit sponsorship deal. Join me after this with the details.
Can I have that meal over there? And I really want that crispy, fresh apple taste in the garden. Can I have the apple?
I think I'll have my big bite 2 meal with happy waziwaka. Give us your
enjoy an appetizing big bite meal with an happy drink of your choice. A meal is not a meal without an happy drink. And now introducing Appy in a can.
The details. The Republican Progressive Party, RPP, says the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, Chairperson Esau Chulu cannot deliver a free and fair election in 2021. RPP has since asked Judge Chulu to recuse himself from handling the 2021 general elections. Mr. Chikuse further says Zambians have lost trust in the electoral body, accusing it of being biased. We have the details in this report.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ chairperson Esau Chulu has been accused of not being able to deliver free and fair elections in the upcoming 2021 general elections. Republican Progressive Party RPP Vice President Leslie Chikuse says Judge Chulu must excuse himself if credibility has to be restored at the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Mr. Chikuse says Judge Chulu has made grave errors in the past elections, which has generally created a perception that he was biased. According to a statement availed to the media, Mr. Chikuse gave examples such as the counting of votes in a non-existent constituency named Chitulika constituency and the failure to announce results on time from the nearest district.
Our view is that Judge Chulu must recuse himself if credibility has to be restored at the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The litany of grave mistakes that were made during the counting of votes in 2016 elections have generally created a perception that he was biased. The counting of votes in a non-existent constituency named Chitulika constituency, the failure to announce results of constituencies that are nearest to the counting center, and also the failure to manage the G12 is enough evidence that there was bias in the 2016 election. Therefore, as Republican Progressive Party, we feel that there is a general perception by the citizenry that the Electoral Commission of Zambia cannot provide for a free and fair election under the leadership of Esau Chulu. To this effect, therefore, we would like to call upon Esau Chulu to recuse himself from the position or the role of chairperson of elections in the 2021 elections, to allow for a person that is independent and that will bring credibility back to the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
RPP therefore advised government to hire judges or experts from countries such as Malawi and Kenya to help Zambia manage the 2021 general elections. Constance Mwemba reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Nselauke Secondary School in Kasempa district of Northwestern Province has been completed. Over 250,000 Kwacha 2018 Constituency Development Fund CDF has been spent on the project. This came to light when a team from Zambia Women Parliamentarian Caucus visited constituency to appreciate the works that the female lawmaker Brenda Tambatamba is doing. We have the details in this report.
Parliamentarians in the country largely depend on the Constituency Development Funds, CDF, for developments CDF by law is expected to be released to constituencies every year. Currently, each constituency is supposed to receive 1.6 million kwacha each year. However, these funds have been erratic, making it a challenge for MPs to render development to their constituencies. In Kasempa constituency, the 2016, 17 and 18 allocations have been channeled towards developments such as schools, clinics, markets, shelters, among others. Nselauke Secondary School is one development which has been constructed through the 2018 CDF, as area MP Brenda Tambatamba explains.
For a long time, it has had a primary school, and later on, we got a secondary school status of the primary school, but the pupils have been learning from the same classrooms, which are meant to be a primary school. And so the community has been trying for a long time. Communities have been trying for a long time to get to a point where they get a secondary school because the population has grown big. And finally, in 2018, we approved this project to be one of the CDF projects, to give them a place for a secondary school so that the pupils that are learning from the primary school can move over to the secondary school. And
"180 kilometers from Kasempa town is Mukinda Primary School, where pupils were learning from open spaces, but a 1x2 classroom block has been constructed at a cost of about 175,000 kwacha. Camnet Primary School is another beneficiary of CDF, where a 1x2 classroom block has been set up. Other developments visited include the construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Lubofu Secondary School.
Amongst the projects of the two times CDF, the total of 2.3 million kwacha apportioned to everybody, there is 2 secondary school blocks, one at Selauke and one here in Lubofu. So this is a secondary school block. This is a startup of the establishment of a secondary school in Lubofu.
Construction of specialized rooms at Kasempa Day, construction of a teacher's house at Kabikondo Primary School, and the yet to be completed Makunka Community School, among others. In Injenga, a market shelter has been erected. The area Member of Parliament was in the company of a team from the Zambia Women Parliamentary Caucus, whose main focus and attention is on the works of female parliamentarians in the country. Kalan Mochima reporting.
Meanwhile, government has rolled out an ambitious program to upgrade primary schools to secondary schools across the country. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, Chilanga District Commissioner Richard Ndaje says upgrading of primary schools is meant to reduce the distance learners cover to access secondary education. Last year, General Education Minister David Mabumba announced that 26 primary schools in Lusaka will be upgraded to secondary school level in 2020, of which St. Michael's School in Chilanga District is one of the beneficiaries of this development.
As you may be aware, that the policy of the government now is to take services closer to the people. So the government saw it fit to just bring this school here, and we are appreciative of World Bank under the ZIP project that this school is taking shape, and the parents around here are so grateful to the government for what the government has done to bring a school of this magnitude. And this is why the work is moving at this speed, because the community has been so handy in providing the resources that are needed. I want to commend the community here for being proactive and for supporting the work. This just shows how the parents are eager to have their children learn.
Government, we are so appreciative because they have been, I think, helping us. We have never had a challenge, and that recognition is just awesome for us. You know, there are so many schools like in Ichiranga district, but only to come and pick on us. That's why we don't want to disappoint the government. We really appreciate their support.
A governance activist, Mwape Musonda, has described the proposed electoral nomination fees for the 2021 general elections as outrageous. Mr. Musonda wonders who advised the Electoral Commission of Zambia of such figures, saying they are beyond the reach of those wishing to participate. He states that whether ECZ wants to fence off people intending to participate in the elections, or the amounts are just too high, especially for the youths. We have details in this report.
Our comments this morning are on the proposed increase in the nomination fees for the various candidates from president to MP, council chairpersons, as well as the councillors. I think what ECZ is proposing, it's outrageous. We as speaking as youths, we don't see why it is necessary for ECZ to increase these fees for nominations. What is the rationale behind the increment? Can ECZ is ECZ now telling us that every time there is a general election they are going to be increasing these figures? It's not necessary. I mean, already as young people we are disadvantaged because in this country you practice ageism when you are electing leadership. So if you see now this increment, it's just going to further disadvantage a lot of young people that want to participate in this upcoming general election. I mean, leadership is not about how much money you have. Leadership is about how you are ready to offer your service to the people, to your community. So this issue of putting money now to become an impediment for people who are supposed to offer leadership should not be the case. And we appeal to ECZ to totally quash this thing of increasing the fees. I think the fees that are currently there are sufficient. It shouldn't be now an impediment for someone to aspire for leadership that you have to have money. Now, leadership shouldn't be a prison for the rich people, but rather it should be for those people that are ready to offer the service to the people and to their communities.
President Edgar Lungu has expressed happiness with the support Bill 10 has received among chiefs in Northern Province. The head of state says he is happy that traditional leaders in the province are appreciating Bill 10 and its contents. President Lungu also says his government is alive to the many challenges people are facing in the province. He has assured that his government is working towards alleviating the people's sufferings. Patriotic Front PF-sponsored Facebook page Smart Eagles reports that over 80 headmen says they are in full support of the Progressive Constitution Amendment Bill number 10 of 2019. Smart Eagles reports that this came to light when they met President Lungu yesterday in Senga Hill district. Over 80 village headmen and head women collectively said that they were in support of Bill 10. You're watching the main news on Camnet TV. Just now we take a break. Stay with us.
Dr. Bigron, musaibala komutienda ukuni gift na land. Uchenkubeti uibise mojo basaione. Oh! Mwina mushi, nakuletera njinga. Latest inaluvesi gear na mawaipa. Gift code tidia shidia njinga. Liamu 19 pendef code. Transport, we got it. Nanga phone for communication. Ipu sana chizungu. Yeah, you see what I mean? It's a Camnet difficult. It's communication. We got it. Inemomi! Powerful system ndimba X-Buzz. Mfumile kukalale. Na mnaimo muli bakumushi. We got it. Yo Bikron, utola inoleta nchemfule mungani. Get you watch the post and change. 1, 2, 3. Both of you. Kabala ngempang. Don't be stupid. We got it.
To increase sales of your products and services, advertise on Camnet TV. Reach your clients and target markets directly and see your business grow. For special rates, you can contact our marketing department on
0955 664 305 or 0978 290 626. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Welcome back. The National Democratic Congress NDC spokesperson Saboyi Imboela says her party is sad that Parliament, which was supposed to resume sitting on Friday, failed to take off due to malfunction in the equipment bought by government. On Thursday, Parliament failed to hold a mock sitting to test the effectiveness of the imported equipment from South Africa to be used by members of Parliament as a measure to curb the coronavirus. But Ms. Imboela hopes that people's money will not just go to waste, as experienced to government has spent 5 million kwacha to procure various electronic equipment for parliamentary use. More in the following report.
While the country is still facing its own challenges in the education sector, some members of parliament are computer illiterate. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, only examination classes and final year students are back at school, while other students in the non-examination classes are using e-learning. Now, the question is, how are our members of parliament going to push for better e-learning in Zambia if they themselves are computer illiterate? Parliament Deputy Chief Whip Tutwa Ngulube disclosed that some members of Parliament are computer illiterate, which explains the delay in the reopening of the House. According to him, the parliamentarians are still learning to use the newly acquired virtual system. About 80% of the virtual preparations have been done, and it is hoped proceedings will commence on Tuesday next week. Now, the National Democratic Congress Party NDC spokesperson Saboyi Imboela has advised the Patriotic Front not to use the illiteracy of members of parliament as an excuse for the failure to have the right numbers they need in order for Bill number 10 to be passed in parliament.
First and foremost, it's very, very disappointing that the government has spent 5 million kwacha, on equipment which they are failing to utilize to open up parliament, And as opposition, we know that the government is failing to get the number for Bill 10. They thought it was easy. Last time when they thought to get the number for Bill 10, that's when they closed Parliament on account that we had 2 cases of the coronavirus. And now they thought that they would take that time to get more votes, from the other members of Parliament that they thought they could buy. So now we know that even those that were on the side of the PF, some of them have come on the side of the opposition. So right now, the government does not have enough numbers to pass Bill 10. So the issue of MPs being illiterate, or rather computer illiterate, well, it may be true, but you don't need to be computer illiterate for you to utilize the gadget. They can easily call people to help them do that. Look at Zoom right now. Before the coronavirus, every meeting was almost physical, on WhatsApp, on Skype. But now, with the coronavirus, the issue of Zoom has come in. It's very easy. If somebody doesn't know how to use it, they get people to do it for them. We do it in political parties, with people that have almost similar qualifications with the members of parliament. So some of us are not buying this story of the MPs being computer illiterate. And let me also emphasize that they may be, yes, computer illiterate, but that is not the problem. There can be people supposed to set up this equipment, and then that's it, then they utilize it, So for me, first of all, the wastage of money, and then time to this thing of buying time, all this is just a scheme by the PF government. They shouldn't have wasted so much money. If they had the numbers for Bill 10, believe you me, Parliament right now would be sitting. But it's all about Bill 10, which they want to desperately pass.
Ms. Imboela says it is disappointing that a huge amount of money was spent on equipment that cannot be utilized by members of parliament. Constance Mwemba, reporting for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Patriotic Front Monali aspiring Member of Parliament Crispin Jinda says youth empowerment is key to the well-being of the youths in the country. Ms. Jinda states that youths constitute the larger population, hence empowering them with the much-needed skills is equivalent to reducing poverty levels in the country. This reporter brought us this report. Youth empowerment is key to developing countries, especially whose population accounts for almost 60% of the country's population. Zambia is no exception to this scenario. Lusaka's aspiring candidate for Monali constituency, Mr. Crispin Jinda, today received a book written in his honor. Mr. Jinda has been at the helm of youth empowerment, among other developmental projects in Monali constituency.
I'm inspired, just like he would be inspired from me, but I'm also inspired that there are many other youths that gotten the inspiration from what I've been doing. Basically, what I've been doing is a passion that I have, and I'm driven by that same passion to do what I can in our constituency. My issues is obviously real issues that are affecting our people in the constituency, in the Monali constituency, and ours is to uplift the living standard of our people in the constituency, and we'll continue. This is a journey that we have, this is a movement that we have, so that we can transform many lives of our people.
Paul Mwila, the author of the book, says the aspiring leader has been responsive to the needs of not only the community, but that of the youths.
First and foremost, Mr. Crispin Jinda is a community leader. He does works based on community, on the well-being, the welfare of a community, not just for individuals or families. So, one, I love the fact that he empowers young people within Monali and outside Monali. So that is the first thing that qualifies him to take over Monali come 2021. And the second thing, he has a heart for women, he has a heart for men, he has a heart for people with talent, skills.
The book documents the life of Crispin Jinda and that of Monali constituency. Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka. Still in political news, Opposition United Party for National Development aspiring Member of Parliament for Lusaka Central Constituency, Molambo Haimbe, says there is need for the country to have leadership that will be responsive to the needs of the people. Mr. Haimbe says the country is facing high poverty levels and mismanagement of public resources due to poor leadership by most people serving in public institutions. Meanwhile, Mr. Haimbe says Zambia has potential to develop beyond her current status with the right leadership in place. Mr. Haimbe was speaking to Camnet in an interview.
Issue indeed has been obviously it continues to be a topical issue in the countrywide is this situation that we are faced in. Obviously there is the COVID issue, which I'll deal with shortly, but more importantly the Zambian people need to have leadership that will take care of their interests. I think we have talked about this numerous times, that there is hunger, there is poverty, there is mismanagement at various levels, at many levels, and so it is time indeed for change. And we are positioning ourselves. A lot has been said about the UPND that we are not a grassroots party. But the truth of the matter is that the way we are doing things now, we are dealing with the grassroots, and the people have resonated with us. The people have resonated with Mr. Hichilema because at the end of the day, we are the party that speaks for the people. Our colleagues who took over power on the basis of being a people's party are no longer practicing that. It is all about themselves, about lining their pockets. And now the people of Zambia are ready. The winds of change have blown. And my appeal out there is, we all know, we are speaking, every time we speak in our communities, with our families, we all complain and talk about the same thing. It's time for us to have change. And everybody knows that we, as UPND, are embracing, as I said earlier, the whole country. All Zambians, we are offering the opportunity, the difference, the change, the new wind that people are looking for. And that is the best that I can say.
Government, through the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU, has pledged to provide logistical support to a Namwala family which lost 5 of its members on June 18, 2020. The deceased, who have been identified as Mercy Mulako, 36, Sarah Ngulale, 12, Mildred Ngulale, 7, Maureen Ngulale, 2, and Hope Ngulale, 8 months, drowned when a strong wave hit their boat, causing the engine to be disconnected. DMMU National Coordinator Chandakawe says the support is aimed at lessening the burden of the family that is going through. Meanwhile, Mr. Kawe says government, through the Ministry of Transport and Communications, is working on modalities to ensure all vessels being used to transport people on water are safe in order to prevent such accidents. Mr. Kawe has further advised communities who depend on water transport to take the necessary precautions and adhere to weather advice being issued by the Zambia Meteorological Department, even as they endeavor to go on with their business. This is contained in a statement made available to the media by DMMU Senior Communications Officer Rachel Chama. Shalom Youth Project Zambia President Arthur Mukea has expressed concern over the employment levels among the youths in the country. Mr. Mukea says it is worrisome to note that the country is full of unemployment graduates while jobs are every day being occupied by people who do not even qualify for them. Mr. Mukea has since called on government to not pay a blind eye to the cries of the youths, but listen to their concerns.
Surely, this is the government that we want, a government that is going to take us to the promised land. But it is 4 years down the road, and our situations are worsening every day. Our conditions of service in some of these companies are not okay. The young people are not safe. The young people are crying. We have the issue of youth unemployment in this country. There are no job opportunities for young people. We have our youths that have degrees, our youths that have gone, some of them even up to PhDs, but no jobs. We don't know who's getting these jobs because every day the number keeps on increasing. You have an advert in the media, people that don't even apply are the ones that are getting these jobs. Where will the youth get the experience is just graduated from the University of Zambia today. The empowerment programs, CEC, who is benefiting from these millions of dollars and kwacha that we hear are being channeled to the young people. We are on the ground. We understand the challenges that our youths are facing. Can their government also listen to what they have to say?
Just now, we take a break. Join us after that for international and sports news. Stay with us.
Stay home, stay safe. Times have changed. With the advent of the coronavirus, Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company would like to advise its esteemed customers to avoid visiting crowded places. You don't have to move to pay your water bill. You can do it in the convenience of your home. You can pay your water bills through Zanaco Zapit, Stanbic Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and FNB. You can also use Airtel, MTN, and Zamtel Kwacha mobile money transfer services. For any inquiries to report a fault, please contact our customer service on +260 211 251 571, +260 975 618 618, and toll-free line 5957, Zamtel only. You can also simply email customer service at lwsc.com. This public announcement is brought to you by the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company. Water is life. Sanitation is health.
You know I can take her a bit.
Yes, my dear.
I was thinking of getting you a Bugatti on your birthday.
Really?
I'm quiet. My name is Yana. Banga kubunkire ni dad.
Don't worry, man. That's why there is insurance.
Insurance?
You heard me.
Not just any kind of insurance, but Savenda General Insurance, a company that offers superior customer service, highly professional and dedicated staff. We are not just any insurance company, but an insurance company that actually pays our claims. We cover, among others, fire, marine, aviation, engineering, agriculture, motor vehicle, and miscellaneous insurance. So, live life to the full, knowing that Savenda General Insurance has got you covered. Savenda General Insurance. Insurance excellence.
To increase sales of your products and services, advertise on Camnet TV. Reach your clients and target markets directly and see your business grow. For special rates, you can contact our marketing department on
0955 664 305 or 0978 290 626. Camnet TV.
Not just another channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We look at international news. Brazil Minister of Health says the country has surpassed 1 million confirmed coronavirus cases. The ministry has further announced that 50,000 people have died from the deadly pandemic as the country struggles with these cases and other political and climate economic outlook. Brazil confirmed its first case of the virus on February 26th, 2020. We monitored Al Jazeera for a roundup of international news.
The first football match of the Rio de Janeiro State Championship was anything but a joyous occasion. Fans of Brazil's most popular team, Flamengo, protested outside the Maracanã Stadium against President Jair Bolsonaro. He's been betting that the return of football matches will send a message to Brazilians that it's time to get back to normal and back to work.
Our movement is against the reopening of the championship. It's a fascist irresponsibility of the government which is not committed to helping people. They're only concerned about the economy.
The game in arguably the world's most football-crazed country was played without fans inside. While right next to the stadium, at least 2 more people died from coronavirus in an emergency tent hospital. In Brazil, the number of infections and deaths is unrelenting. And with more than 1 million infections now confirmed, former Health Minister Luis Henrique Mandetta tells Al Jazeera that the pandemic is still a long way from subsiding.
I think that we are in the middle of the pandemic season. We have a country that is really a continent, and we have some cities that really went through the problem. One's in the middle time and other ones that didn't start yet. So I think that we'll go till September struggling with that.
From Latin America's Atlantic coast to Chile on the Pacific, the pandemic is accelerating. Chile now has the highest number of infections per million inhabitants in the world. And despite months of partial or total lockdowns, less than 40% of Chileans are staying home, prompting the government to limit permits to go out to buy food and medicine to twice a week. The president has asked Congress to fast-track a law raising penalties for violating quarantine to 5 years in prison. Hospitals are at a breaking point, and while countries from Europe and Asia worry about a second outbreak, here in South America, it will be months before the first one even begins to subside. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Santiago.
We now look at sports news. Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Brian Mushimba, has appealed to Mopani Copper Mines to rethink their current stance of looking to cut their monthly grant to Mufulira Wanderers by half. Dr. Mushimba urged Mopani to continue their support to the legendary cup finals who are currently fighting relegation. The minister was speaking at the Mufulira Wanderers Advantage Insurance campaign and training kit sponsorship and unveiling at Advantage Insurance Northmead offices along Manchinchi Road. Mufulira Wanderers on Friday unveiled their new camping and training kit sponsors, Advantage Insurance, at the colourful presentation event at the Advantage's Northmead offices. The deal was brokered by Mfolera Wanderers Fund Society, led by Chairperson George Katongo. Advantage Insurance will fork out $6,000 for the purchase of a training and camping kit, and in turn, they will receive an advertising platform on Wanderers training and camping kit, as well as along the perimeter fence at the legendary Shinde Stadium. This story is courtesy of Zamford Sports page. That sporting item brings us to the end of our news, but before we go, the headlines once again. Northwestern Province Buten support cheers President Lungu. RPP says Zambians have lost confidence in the electoral body. Zambian youths lament lack of jobs. In international news, 50,000 people die of COVID-19 in Brazil. In sports news, Mfolera Wanderers and Advantage Insurance seal kit sponsorship deal. But before we go, let's look at the verse for the day. Today's verse is coming from the book of Mark chapter 8 verse 36 to 37, and it says, "For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" That's all we could accommodate for you on the news desk. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. Thank you so much for staying with us. Keep watching Camnet TV.